Now we're seeing some blue color on this. Is this what you'd call paint?
No, this is leverite.
Leverite, okay.
Where it is.
You have leverite.
This color rock really makes me crazy because, especially when it's wet like right now, and oh, I get those darn grandkids.
Like right over here.
Yeah, it just drives you crazy.
So I'm looking here and I'm seeing all this kind of blue-green stuff.
Yeah, and that's just leverite.
I bought some, I guess it was about 3 pounds from you, and it had this beautiful teal kind of color.
Right.
Because Godber shows a lot of different looks.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
From like what people call dry creek, which is almost like a whitish.
Yeah, and we got some of them. We'll show you some.
Yeah, and then it goes to a lighter blue, a deeper blue, and then you get these webbed, which is your top high grade. But you know, you're looking down over here, and you'd say, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's all color. And,
we've hit the mother lode here, but it's not. Is that turquoise?
No.
That's just.
And there is some blue right here in the
But
wall.
when you say paint, what sort of mineral is that then?
Who knows? I've never had it, analyzed, but it looks like it, and it does make into it. You'll follow some veins and see, like right in here, we have a little bit of the blue with it, and see there's your stain. See the difference of it?
Yeah.
And stain right there. But it'll roll, and then every once in a while it'll make a pocket of it.
So all this blue in here that we're seeing.
It's I don't know what it's called. Like I said, I know.
It's almost like you call it like a turquoise stain.
A stain, yeah, but it's not really a stain, per se. It's just I don't know what.
So in other words, there's nothing there to.
No, but it does make it does. I have.
It'll lead. Will it lead you to something?
Oh yeah. See right here. See here's some little stuff in the just little. But it'll make a little pocket of it. But to me, that's not one of your main. It's just little teasers.
So that can lead you on a wild goose.
Oh yeah,
chase.
and you could get some right behind here. See, look right up in here. They did a little raise up on this, and then right around the corner they did another one. So they were following this. So that tells you right there that the old timers were onto it. And
now, how far back have you been back in?
Oh yeah. That goes back about 100, 150 feet.
Oh my goodness.
And then they got a raise going up at the very end of it, and.
See, now this to me looks like...
Nope, Indian lovestone, another rock.
Look at that beautiful Indian lovestone. Well, you know you're a turquoise lover when you love the stone, even if it's not turquoise. As we were told, this is leverite. We're gonna leave it right there.
Yeah, and it's hard to find. Like people come up and high grade me, and as you can see, Mike, you can look around here, and it isn't like there's just tons and tons laying around here. It's very hard to find.
Very hard to find.
But it just rained.
Notice to high graders.
Never know.
Don't waste your time. Don't high grade Godber Burnham.
You come right over here and look, and see they did another raise up in here, and this was so that it tells you that they were following something over here too. See, there you go on the.
We got to see what's back up in there a little bit. Okay, yeah.
See, they were following something because they just didn't poke holes. They had to be onto something.
Yeah. And they were doing this with just
jack legs and stopers and just underground stuff. Yeah. Not hand stuff. They actually had air.
Air compressed.
Oh yeah.
Jacks,
yeah,
jackhammered.
But still a lot of work.
And then they'd have to just rake that stuff all out?
Yeah, and by hand.
By hand.
I had to hand muck it down, and they had a car going in here,
And that's what they'd have, the rail.
And then they'd hand muck it there and then bring it on out.
Bring it on out and dump it right out here. Okay, great. All right, well, we'll go up top and see what's going on. I'm just having a hard time not picking up all the leverite.
Yeah, now you can see your structures that I'm talking about. And see, that just kind of ends right over there. It just cuts it off.
Ends right over.
Yeah, you can kind of see that other rock that kind of comes down, and it just rolled and pinched it right there. So all that structure in between those carries nothing. Then you look right down in here, and it changed. See how you got your bluish green leverite?
Yeah.
And you can kind of see where that reddish come in. Nothing. Boom. Then that's where the underground and everything started. See how the difference of the color of the rock. But from
so
there
you keep going deeper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
so you're at over 100 feet now. So how deep do you think you would go? Who knows?
3,000 feet. I have no idea.
So you're saying this was the original?
They called that the Godber Tunnel, right?
Godber Tunnel.
Yeah. And so it's right here. And then they come out there, and then they had rail coming out there, and then they come out and they had a dump and everything. But this is the original tunnel.
It's covered by that corrugated.
Yeah. And that was they had that in there. They had that all timbered up and that to hold the rock in that right there. It went in. It's a drift, a tunnel.
And that tunnel came back towards
all the way
us?
In there. Yep, been in there. Yep.
Towards us.
Yep. Matter of fact, right down where we're standing, this side of it right there is where it coming out. It was all caved in when I come in.
So it came in underneath where we are now, came in over where we are here, and came out.
Matter of fact, when we look back in the left over there, that had to probably connect to it there. That other drift that we looked over there, and it all had to hook into it one time. I couldn't tell because a lot of it was caved in. But I crawled down in there years ago and you know, checked everything out on it, you know.
So that by the Godber Tunnel, that's the one that Burton and his partner were the first ones that came in there.
But they had right over here too. They had a shaft going down here, and Clyde had pulled that all out. So I don't know who did that. And then
so they did the horizontal added into the hill. Of course, this was all just one big mountain. And then as they go along, they could go down from the top, a shaft down into it.
And they did different ore bodies, different deals. You can see that one was different than up there. And I seen from the old books that they had underground up there that didn't hook it. So somewhere they had another one that come in there. I mean, it was just, but when I seen it, see, Clyde Wright had started open pitting it. So a lot of this was already into it. So I didn't know who did what it looked like.
So it was Clyde Wright when he was leasing from the Godbers.
Correct.
This would have been
70s.
70s. Okay.
He wanted to buy it. Just John. I talked to John, and John was a good friend of mine. But
his son, John Wright.
And he told me that in the 70s that he was going to buy it. He wanted to buy the mine from Godber, and he'd been mining it for 4 years then. He was paying him, I don't know, a couple grand or whatever it was a month, and a certain percent of turquoise. And so Clyde went to him and he said, well, I want to buy it from you. He said, okay. He goes, I want $330,000, $333,000 back in the 70s. And Clyde said, fine, put what I've put the last 4 years toward the purchase price and I'll buy it. Godber said, I want $330,000 for it. So $250,000 in the 70s. So that tells you what Clyde thought about it. And then the money, I mean, they all thought it was, you know, and the money it was made. And see, Clyde...
And then what did the Godbers end up with?
They ended up losing it, yeah. Yeah, and see, and that was not a funny deal, but it sat out here, and then John did the paperwork, but he didn't file them, one or the other, and then Chris Rose ended up staking it. And then he found the loophole. It sat out here for a year or 2 years. Nobody knew
that it had been vacant.
So Chris Rose staked it, said, I'll never get rid of it. Well, then Janet and Larry Everett ended up buying it. And that's who we bought it from, was them.
So Janet and Larry would have bought that in early 80s?
Late 80s.
Late 80s. So when you're working here, Bruce, you got a pretty nice view, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So where are we looking out over here?
Well, you're looking out straight east to be Eureka, 70 miles away, and then we can't quite see DeMelli's ranch. Let's see, maybe we can walk over here and see that. But I got good neighbors over here.
And this big range up here, right behind you there, and looking out to the south.
The forest you can see over there is a diamond range outside of Eureka.
Okay.
Yeah, very big country over there.
So then we're going back down here.
Yeah, we should be able to climb up here and take a look at the ranch over here. I got some really good neighbors, Tommy and Peter DeMelli. Now
this was, of course, the name of the DeMelli Turquoise mine, which is really just the other side of yours. So
correct. Yeah,
you're between the old DeMelli.
Oh shoot! I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it.
Well, we got an idea where it is down there.
It's back right over
back right down there. We can see where the green is.